I'm the president of the board of the Hashgraph Association, which is the leading ecosystem development entity within Hedera Hashgraph ecosystem.
Yes.
We do focus pretty much on AI, sustainability, on-chain finance, all the way up to Web3 gaming. What I can see, it's massive. The convergence of AI and Web3 is gonna lay down or pave the path for a new era of innovation, a new level of tech-driven or tech-enabled business transformations. I do forecast Hedera to be within top 10 in the upcoming years.
Hello, innovators, entrepreneurs, and risk takers. Welcome to another episode of Web3 with Sam Kamani podcast. And here I have with me Kamal from Hashgraph Association, where he is going to be sharing about what they are doing at the association, how founders and builders can use it, and their long-term vision on how they plan to see this whole ecosystem evolve, as well as he shares about how they see AI, how they see institutional adoption, and so much more. So if you're a founder or a builder, please tune in. This is an episode for you, as well as if you work in the institutional space, then this episode is for you. As always, nothing that we talk about here should be taken as investment advice, and please like, share, subscribe, and follow. With all that out of the way, let's get into it. So Kamal, welcome to the show. Great to have you here, and looking forward to my final interview at Consensus. We are right now here at Consensus. You can see like all the different country signs. There's people from all around the world here today. It's been quite a big and quite a good event, I would say, so far. And before we get into everything that you guys are doing at Hedera and Hashgraph and how it's changing things around in the industry and impacting the industry, I would love to learn a bit more about your journey. How did you get involved in this industry?
My very first project. So first of all, thank you for having me, Kamal. It's a great pleasure to be with you. Kamal is my name, and I'm the president of the board of the Hashgraph Association, which is the leading ecosystem development entity within Hedera Hashgraph ecosystem, mandated by Hedera Governing Council to deploy enablement and empowerment programs, which includes training and certification, incubation and acceleration, on the way up to venture building programs, as well as other mandates, which is tailor-made for enterprises and small and mid-sized enterprises that are willing to build willing to speed up their transition from a Web2 organization towards a Web3 organization while leveraging Hedera Hashgraph capabilities. My journey with blockchain in general goes back to my time at Ernst & Young, Switzerland. That's where I was part of EY Garage Lab. It was an internal task force that dealt with emerging technologies back at the time, which included with major focus on in-memory data management, predictive analytics, data mining. And it just happened back at the time that the topic crypto in 2015 was kind of becoming attention from financial services companies, and there have been a lot of questions around regulatory framework and the nature of cryptocurrencies and how can you deal with them, what is it, what it does, how it works, and a lot of questions evolved back at the time. And we had many clients reaching out to us, trying to understand how can they capitalize on these new opportunities and how can they navigate regulatory frameworks. Then I had the privilege of working with one of the pioneering partners back at the time, his name Daniel Haugenschild, who came up with the idea to build and develop a proprietary wallet for EY colleagues and employees to buy, store, and to manage their Bitcoins. So we are talking about early 2016. And I was part of that project, and we launched the wallet successfully in 26th of November 2016, which was kind of the initial or the very first project that I contributed actively when it comes to blockchain and crypto and decentralized solutions. 1 year later, I co-founded a joint venture together with the Swiss giant, Swisscom, which is the leading telco operator in Switzerland, a company called Swisscom Blockchain, basically a subsidiary or a joint venture between me and Swisscom Group to run and deploy enterprise-grade solutions covering custody solutions, wallets, asset tokenizations, all the way up to BaaS offering, back at the time, blockchain as a service, And yeah, step by step, I got involved in many projects and enterprises. 2017, 18, or towards the end of 2017, I came across with the white paper of Hedera
Yeah.
and Hedera Hashgraph, and I was quite amazed about the white paper that Dr. Lehman Bird has put in place, describing I call them the USPs, or let's say the key differentiators of Hedera Hashgraph versus other layer ones. And it just caught my attention to see Hedera being positioned as the public, or let's say a unique setup where you have public ledger, which is transparent, accessible, decentralized, but at the same time is permissioned by governing council members that are bringing the trust and governing the network. And I knew back at the time that's going to be a game changer in the DLT and in the Web3 space in general.
Yeah.
And since then, I would say the majority of my time was pretty much with Hedera and Hedera project.
Yes.
And I assumed different positions since then. And as we speak today, I run the Hashgraph Association for the ecosystem development activities. And at the same time, I run the Hashgraph Ventures, which is the venture capital arm within Hedera ecosystem out of Abu Dhabi, to deploy investments for projects that are building solutions while leveraging Hedera Hashgraph capabilities. And we do focus pretty much on AI, sustainability, on-chain finance, all the way up to Web3 gaming. And we are also opportunistic when it comes to other solutions that we believe, or other investment cases or projects or use cases that we believe they bring value for Hedera ecosystem. We do consider these also as viable investment cases.
That's fantastic.
Thanks.
So I have that's quite a journey that you've had. So Kamal, tell me a bit more about the Hashgraph Association.
Yeah, the Hashgraph Association is a non-profit making entity based out of Switzerland. Has been founded in 2021 with a mandate from Hedera Governing Council to enable and empower Hedera Hashgraph community and establish a vibrant ecosystem for innovative and pioneering use cases that are leveraging Hedera Hashgraph capabilities. The Hashgraph Association has 4 strategic objectives. Number 1 is education, basically equipping Hedera Hashgraph community with the technical and the functional knowledge to design, develop, and deploy viable solutions on Hedera mainnet. Number 2, funding, basically deploying resources and investments in the Hedera ecosystem to achieve long-term success and sustain transformational impact. The third pillar, or the third strategic objective, is acceleration, and that's something that we achieve by designing tailor-made innovation programs, entrepreneurship programs, all the way up to venture building programs for entrepreneurs and startups that are willing to build, or they plan to build, or are building on Hedera Hashgraph. And last but not least is to scale up globally. And that's something that we achieve by partnering with established ecosystem partners, be it academic institutions or universities or academic institutions, and management consulting firms, technology partners, all the way up to system integrators. And these are basically our extension, or the extension of Hedera Hashgraph across the world. And they are pretty much our partners when it comes to identifying and qualifying use cases and projects that need to be built on Hedera Hashgraph.
I'm talking about, like, a lot of the listeners of this podcast are actually builders, founders, or those type of people. I'm talking about the fund and the foundation. And you talked about the recent focus on AI.
Yes.
Can you tell me a bit more about that, like on what type of projects and things you guys are looking at when it comes to AI?
When you look at Hedera Hashgraph and it's the nature of the projects that we have been supporting within Hedera Hashgraph, since day one, we were pretty much focused on viable use cases that are bringing value, not only for Hedera ecosystem or its community, but for the wider Web3 industry. And when we talk about use cases, we don't limit ourselves to silos. Basically, we don't restrict ourselves to use cases that are only focusing on blockchain or crypto. But rather than that, we do incentivize and try to promote solutions, or say support projects or use cases that are leveraging the capabilities of emerging technologies, especially the ones that are leveraging the cognitive capabilities of AI, combined with the decentralized infrastructure of Hedera Hashgraph, combined with IoT solutions, all the way up to quantum computing. And that's actually our vision, and that's actually our direction that we are taking, because we believe in the Web3 vision, which is the era, or let's say the internet iteration, where you will see all these technologies complementing each other and bring in the concept of something that I call polyglot platforms, basically platforms that are implementing the different capabilities of the different technologies or the different emerging technologies to create value and retain value for the user.
And when you look at the AI trends and everything, that there's been few different narratives when it comes to combining AI with blockchain and Web3 and all that. One is the decentralized aspect of it, decentralized compute, decentralized processing, decentralized data for AI. Then the other one is payments with X402, those type of things, as in for agents to pay themselves or agents to pay other agents, agents to pay systems, all that. And then there is just the whole trading side of things, agents to trade on whether it's Polymarket or Perpdex or wherever, or Walls or whatever. What are you seeing, or what are you guys bullish on at the moment? And where do you see the whole ecosystem when it comes to AI / Web3 going?
I mean, certainly AI is a key component in the current internet iteration, in the concept of Web3. And it is just, in my view, it's too early to predict what or to quantify the level, or let's say the dimension of the use cases that AI is going to enable in the future. All I can see, it's massive. And the convergence of AI and Web3 is going to lay down or pave the path for a new era of innovation, a new level of, I call them tech-driven or tech-enabled business transformations that we could not really imagine in the last decades. And I do see the future in the solutions and the platforms and the projects that are technology agnostic. Basically, they are not just focusing on one single area, but they have either interfaces or APIs or some sort of implementations where they integrate all the emerging technologies to come up, as I mentioned, with the concept of a polyglot platform or a polyglot solution or a polyglot system that is able to handle all these different requests and business requirements in the future.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And I have been seeing a lot of institutional adoption coming in this space. How does Hedera and Hashgraph plan to tackle that, or what initiatives do you guys have on that space?
I mean, Hedera Hashgraph, if you look at it, the governing council members, basically the members of Hedera membership, all of them are Fortune organizations, basically large enterprises representing up to 11 different industries coming from different geographies. So we have, for example, banks, telcos, universities, asset managers, energy companies, all the way up to tech and like technology firms like Google and leading SIs or technology firms like IBM. And all these enterprises are working hand in hand because they have shared vision when it comes to the Web3 transformation, shared vision when it comes to tech adoption, and aligned economic interests, so let's say aligned economic or aligned view on how to adopt the technology and how to leverage the cognitive capabilities of AI combined with the decentralized nature of blockchain technologies. when it comes to the initiatives, the Hashgraph Association has an enterprise program. That enterprise program is dedicated for all the enterprises that are basically successful or operating in Web2 stage, but they would like to explore or build or transition
to
the Web3 precisely, be it
yeah.
on-chain or be it other use cases that are enabled by the blockchain or Web3 in general. And that's a program that provides co-investments, provide in terms of providing resources, products, solutions to help bootstrap that transition and make sure that you learn from the accumulated experience and accumulated knowledge that the team and Hedera ecosystem has developed and I would say prepared for reusage and to be made available for these enterprises so that they can bootstrap their transition without the need of going through the same experience and through the painful journey we went through over the last 10 years. There is also, I call them internal initiatives within Hedera Governing Council, where you have Governing Council members teaming up and working on different use cases. We had, for example, a great example between Standard Bank, which is the largest bank in Africa, teaming up with Shinhan Bank out of South Korea on two use cases. One covered the stablecoin and another one pretty much for cross-border payments. And we have also seen many initiatives in the sustainability space, basically EDF, for example, the largest energy company out of France, working on use cases where they leverage Hedera Hashgraph as the underlying infrastructure or as the underlying technology to enable their sustainability plans. We have also something called HEAT, which is Hedera enablement or Hedera enterprise adoption team, a small team focusing on addressing the needs of Hedera Hashgraph Governing Council members. Basically, all these Governing Council members, they have their own use cases and they might need support in terms of cross-pollination and collaborating with their peers at the council, or perhaps also with external enterprises that are building similar use cases or complementary use cases. And the Hashgraph Association also in this context is kind of the entity that is predominantly engaging with enterprises across the world. And we had over 150 projects over the last 4 years or 5 years, which includes pharmaceutical businesses, energy companies or energy industries, financial services and transportation.
That's fantastic. Can you share like maybe 3 projects that you are really bullish on that are built on Hedera Hashgraph?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, maybe I can start with the most recent ones that we have announced. That's easier.
Yeah, sure,
I think the latest one is Indatamwil, which is the largest microfinance company in North Africa, with roughly 1.3 million users. We recently launched with them a loyalty program, which is designed to reward the users and also business partners of Indatamwil, covering microloans, covering payments, covering or encouraging a responsible behavior within the society, but also within the business network of Indatamwil. The other one we had was with Teleport, which is the operating company of AirAsia. It was more about building a solution to streamline the customs processes and implement that on-chain while leveraging Hedera Hashgraph capabilities in combination with AI. And the other one that we have implemented recently was the digital identity for Be'a Group, which is one of the leading companies when it comes to sustainability. Actually, the leaders or the leading recycling company out of Emirates, where we deployed the digital identity for that group. And the goal is to deploy a bunch of Web3 solutions in Khalid ibn Sultan city, basically a new city that's being built in that state in Emirates. And it's basically a smart city where you see different implementations of blockchain, AI, IoT, robotics, and quantum computing. And the idea is it starts with certain use cases that are bringing tangible value for the users while we keep working and developing that smart city. Yeah.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
And where do you see like Hedera Hashgraph in like say 2 to 3 years time? What's
I
the
see-
vision?
I see Hedera Hashgraph being part of top 10 in the next couple of years.
Yeah.
For various reasons. Number one is the governance that Hedera Hashgraph brings to the table, which is unique, and it's
Very, very unique.
It
No
is-
other
it's-
projects, when I
it's-
talk with them,
indeed,
they talk about so much about
indeed,
the
indeed.
foundation, the council,
Yeah.
the governance, all
precisely
that.
governance that Hedera brings to the table is unique. Basically addressing both needs like
Yes.
decentralization, transparency for
Yes.
decentralized applications and for the retail, but at the same time, permissioned transactions on the net governed by Hedera Hashgraph Governing Council members, which brings the comfort and fulfills the compliance requirements when you deal with highly regulated institutions.
Especially government related or
absolutely.
anything like
And
that.
highly
yeah.
regulated institutions,
Yes.
banks, asset managers,
Banks,
assurances,
exactly
and
right,
so on and so
yeah.
forth. Number three is the tech readiness of Hedera Hashgraph, which is also unique with all the SDKs and open source solutions that the
Yes.
team has built over the years. And last but not least, the security level. We are all heading towards quantum challenges, and Hedera Hashgraph with its EBFT, which is asynchronous Byzantine fault tolerance a consensus algorithm. It's one of the highest security standards. In addition to that, deep collaboration with one of our governing council members, Google, which is pioneering the quantum computing space.
It
I
is
think-
absolutely
yes.
far ahead than everyone else on
Absolutely,
that
absolutely.
space. Yes.
And this is cementing the position of Hedera Hashgraph as a leading layer one. And as I mentioned earlier on, I do forecast Hedera to be within top 10 in the upcoming years.
Fantastic. That is great. And on that note, in order to achieve that, do you have a ask? Are you guys looking for anything? Partnerships, hiring, anything? Feel free to share. Yes.
We have several initiatives and several programs. One of them is the membership program. It's free of charge, open for individuals and corporates that are willing to share their thoughts, their ideas, or they are looking for innovators or entrepreneurs or pioneering businesses or corporates that are willing to explore the Web3 era. So that's something that we encourage corporates and individuals to participate in. You will have access to trainings, to workshops, newsletters, market insights, all the way up to white papers and case studies that are showcasing how Hedera Hashgraph is bringing value for Web3 industry. You will be also eligible to be invited to or to participate in our hackathons that we do organize on a regular basis across different continents. Participate in the boot camps and executive workshops and roundtables that we are organizing also across the world, which gives you a good overview about the regulatory frameworks in different jurisdictions. Gives you a great platform to connect with your peers across the world, and last but not least, helps you get connected with other layer one leaders and layer one or layer two leaders, and then you kind of work hand in hand with other layer ones to support the Web3 industry. Because remember, there are many layer ones that have different specialties or focus areas, and the goal is not to compete with each other, but to collaborate with each other to drive the Web3 industry to the next level.
Yep, that's fantastic. Thank you. That's it, folks, for today. And if you got value out of this conversation, you enjoyed it, then do not forget to share it with your crew and leave a comment, like, and subscribe so you do not miss the next episode, because we will be sharing a lot more insights and industry secrets as always. And also, nothing that we talk about here should be taken as investment or financial advice. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, or if you're building something really interesting, then I want to hear from you. Leave it in the comments, reach out to me. You will find all the details in the show notes description, or just search for Sam Kamani. I look forward to seeing you again in the next episode. Peace.